Hi, I'm Jamie, the founder and executive director of the Flow Genome Project, and wanted to take some time out to actually specifically frame this invitation to taking this course, Flow Performance, the Inside Secrets of Stealing Fire, the book that I wrote a couple of years ago, all about peak performance and neuroscience and the cutting edge of kind of emergent culture, and why considering it taking now in 2020. For the first quarter of this year, due to the global events around the corona pandemic, we took a deliberate pivot as an organization, and we basically went from training to doing. It didn't seem right or appropriate to be out there in social media or anywhere else really trying to advocate a specific stance or position other than jumping in and helping out. And that's what our entire team has done, along with an entire global collection of our certified coaches. And we've been working everywhere from tops down with special operations community, 3-letter agencies, federal, state governors, global coordinations, the United Nations, and lots of other folks doing some pretty profound and amazing work, as well as just grassroots people helping people and helping facilitate giving campaigns in communities all around the United States and all around the world. So we are happy and grateful to have been able to do that, and proud that when that call to adventure came, that so many folks in our community stood up. That said, it's time to kind of get back to what we also do, which is the notion of training up next level humans and leaders of leaders. And that's hopefully you. And what this program is offering is something that we're actually seeing even on the front lines right now, which is amazingly talented, dedicated experts at what they do, giving selflessly day after day and starting to fray at the seams a bit. And so in this program, we actually share the best tools we've had learned and honed after 2 decades in surf rescue, mountaineering, wilderness medicine, advising CEOs, executives, and training top performers from Red Bull, from Google, Olympians, special operations community, you name it. So that's what this course is. This course is effectively the cheat sheet for surviving and thriving in challenging times, what we might call VUCA conditions: volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So what this program is here to do is give you the tools and techniques to basically balance peak states with healing, with connection and coordination with others, because that's who we are and how we do things, right? We are social creatures and tribal primates. And the biggest thing about these days, even more than it has ever been, is the amount of both how critical it is that we perform at our best, and how much intensity and sort of micro and macro PTSD we're all experiencing in and day out. And the model that we share in this program starts with basically, how do you take just gutting it out heroically and turn it into something that we can do sustainably? And that begins with hedonic calendaring, which is what do my days look like? What do my weeks and months and entire year look like? And how do I program, not let it accidentally happen, but how do I deliberately program my relationship to peak states and trauma relief and integration so that I can stay on the front lines at full strength? From there, we go into what we call from OS to UI, which is most of us spend most of our time living in our stories, trapped behind our eyes. And the reality is that that's a shitty way to live. We spend too much time in the hamster wheel in our heads, and B, not necessary and not efficient. So we have taken, after a decade of vetting and testing these in corporate situations, in high team, high performance situations, the sort of top 10 tools and models and virus scans that we can use to manage most of our stories, most of our psychology, most of our relating, and most of our problem solving and conflict resolution. And then at the same time, how do we spend the rest of all that energy just vitalizing our neurophysiology? And along those lines, we kind of pull back the cover. Things that when we pointed to in Stealing Fire, we actually go to in real detail, which is specifically taboo subjects like God, sex, and drugs. And specifically, what is the relationship to these things from a post-conventional, rational, evidence-based approach to making conscious use of substances, healthily integrating sexuality, drawing on work from John Lilly back in the 50s all the way to the Kinsey Institute today. And then also even, as a bonus round, sort of what is the role for a informed thinking person to relate to archetypal images and entities. So whether that's Carl Jung to Jordan Peterson, going deep into that space as well. And then really helping you put it all together with accountability partners, with daily practices, and with feedback from stakeholders in your own life to help you level this up. So really it's ecstasis, how to hit the highest highs, catharsis, how to deeply heal and integrate our trauma, and communitas, how to connect profoundly with the people we love and the people we lead and the people that matter in our lives. So that's the engine, that's the flywheel. This is 6 weeks to teach you the tools and skills to not just survive in challenging and uncertain times, but to thrive. And not just to do it for yourself, but to do it on behalf of everybody that you care about, and to be able to step up fully and sustainably into the role that is yours in this life to come. So that's the invitation. If this sounds interesting and relevant, we built it specifically for folks like us to take, which was basically open-hearted but skeptical high achievers, high performers who have room for the mystery, have room for magic and awe and possibility, but also need things straight ahead. So with the sort of joking promise we have offered is kind of ecstasis without the crave, catharsis without the cringe, and communitas without the cult, right? So how can we play with peak experiences without becoming addicted or hooked to them? How can we engage in catharsis or deep healing without it becoming ooey gooey and then kind of new age sufferfest? And how can we connect with each other in profound ways that kind of erase the boundaries of me and you without us getting led off the garden path by some Pied Piper? So that's the invitation. That's also the challenge. We're not here to provide bells and whistles or sugar highs. This is an invitation to join the community that we're a part of around the world of homegrown humans who are waking up, growing up, and showing up to do the right things for the right reasons at the right time. And that time is now. Join us.